Welcome to the second episode of the VoIP Business Talks. My name is Vilis, and today I'll share an interview with Vadim Lica, one of our first clients. He lives in Toronto, Canada, and runs a small business, Vantact Information Systems, with other two guys. Despite being small, they have around 5 million minutes each month, so the revenue is really good. In 2008, while working at his corporate job, Vadim started his own small VoIP business in calling card sector that were very popular during these days. Unfortunately, he didn't have much experience back then. He had to fight with the big guys. He had a lot of troubles with his colocation, and it was hard to run the business while working at his main job. So eventually he shut down that business. A few years later, his division where he worked went to bankruptcy, so he decided to get into VoIP business again because he saw a huge potential in VoIP technology. This time he decided to focus on a bit different niche and serve small offices and home offices, electricians, installers, cable guys, and offer them PBX and DID numbers so their business would look more solid. Later, Vadim learned that his biggest bottleneck is support. He served small clients, so they were not tech savvy. They didn't want to do things on their own, and they generated a lot of support requests. As a result, Vadim decided to reorient to bigger clients who generated higher call volumes, higher revenue, and caused less problems.
Division where I used to work went into the bankruptcy, and I met a situation that they have to do something, and I started again the voice over IP business. And we realized that the biggest issue in this kind of business is support. We used to have 1 million and now 5.
If you like this episode, please leave your comment, subscribe to our channel, and share it with others who might find it useful. Thanks, and see you on the other side. Good morning, Vadim, once again. We chatted a bit.
Good morning.
With you.
Good morning.
Yeah. We're actually in different time zone. You're from Toronto, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and we are from Lithuania. So we were chatting with Vadim that he was actually one of our first clients who started using more back in 2008. And recently we got in touch again last year. So it will be interesting to hear your journey, what has changed during these years. So maybe let's start with this. Share a bit more about your business, what you currently do, and who you serve, and then we will go backwards.
Okay, currently we're serving the dealerships, schools, and the healthcare facilities.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have small clients like Soho business and small office, home office, but most of the clients are the big guys. Some of them are managed by government, like healthcare facilities. We also have few call centers, but most it's dealerships, schools, and big companies and healthcare facilities. This is our specialty.
What type of services do you offer for your clients?
We're offering the virtual PBX. In most cases, this is, for example, for healthcare, it's a multi-tenant. We're serving tenants, management, staff, and the nurse call system. So the critical part of the communication and the healthcare facility, it's a nurse call system when the patients require assistance. The dealerships, they have multiple locations, and they want to have a capability to be joined together. Plus, they have divisions with the call centers when they dialing the potential customers, warranty issues, etc. Schools, it's a specific business because they require the integration with the lockdown, they need the bell system, and also they need the classroom separated from the management. But this is typical customers what we're serving.
Okay, so I guess it's also a bit different because you also work in a B2B sector and partially in a government sector. So do you need to actively look for clients? Do you participate in some tenders?
No, we have dealers. And all of the sales we're doing through the dealers. We don't do the direct sales. This is installers who doing the cables, and because we just offering the service based on the installations. Or, for example, if the let's say new facility, especially the healthcare, the new building started, the construction started. So the dealer is running the cables, dealer is doing. On top of this, we're doing the commissioning, programming, and the integration with the phone system.
Okay, I understand. So let's get back to the beginning. In general, how did you get into this business?
I used to work the building automation company, and building automation at HVAC, home ventilation air conditioning. You know, I started in Richmond, Virginia. And I came to Toronto. I used to work a big company, but the division decided to separate from the main company, and they started on their own. And because everybody was in different cities, the salesmen, technicians, me, IT, all in different cities, we're supposed to find a solution how to interconnect us and how to keep an illusion that we are bigger than in reality we are.
Which year was it?
2006. So first idea, because voice over IP was not very much available on the market, we bought a PBX based on the Intel Dialogic board called Televantage. But in order to extend the extension to different cities, to different technicians, blah, blah, I decided to use Well-Tech gateways, if you remember. Analog, it's some kind of ATA. Back in the days, this was only one option, but was not working very well. And because it's based on Intel Televantage, for every feature, you need or license, or board, or plugin.
Yeah.
And I started to think what other solutions exist. At this time, voice over IP started slowly to grow up. And I started to learn based on the SNOM 4G. I don't know if you remember or not, but there's a big, huge problem with network address translation. And I found the asterisk, and we switched from Televantage to asterisk. This is my experience with voice over IP started. And I make it at the asterisk, and there was much better than Televantage. But initially, the asterisk was not very reliable, was absent of a lot of features, etc., etc. And in 2008, in parallel to my main job with home ventilation air conditioning, I started a small business on voice over IP because it was very popular. The calling card business, I bought the first edition of the More. From what I remember, was More 1 or something. I don't remember. But because I didn't have enough experience, I didn't know exactly the market, and I was supposed to fight with the different companies who were offering these cards. I was not able to understand how properly to sell, and because I was busy with the main job, it was hard to sit on the two chairs. We lost this business. Plus, we didn't pay enough attention to the colocation. The colocation what we selected was probably the same as us, just started, was very unreliable, was multiple disconnections or amount of complaints, issues, and errors didn't allow us to start the business normally. And we shut it down, the business. But I didn't give up, and I decided to continue. A few years later, the division where I used to work went into the bankruptcy, and I met a situation that I have to do something, and I started again the voice over IP business. At this time, we decided to provide virtual PBX, and the best solution for us was port PBX and SIP.
What did you learn and what did you adapt?
First of all, we realized that this is probably the solution and technology that will grow up, and the potential is huge. The copper lines, anyways, will go in the history, and we realized, plus the mobile network started to grow on the same way, and we learned that we have to do it something reliable. We have to understand exactly how the backend should work, especially the colocation, how the voice over IP hierarchy should work. And because we decided to use PBX for small offices, we found, like I said, the PBX and SIP, now it's VoIP. And in the backend, I tried to use more, but at this time, more was more oriented to the calling cards, to other things, and the missing part was DID management, because we're supposed to reroute the DIDs to different PBXs, and PBXs were virtual. We started to look for the soft switch. Slowly, we started to build a clientele. We started with the small companies, small offices like electricians, installer, cable guys, the companies who used to have, let's say, few vans and cell phones. But the problem for them using the cell phone and without to have a normal PBX system, you're not looking solid. And they wanted to be presented as a bigger company like they are, to have an outdoor attendant, to press one for the sales, etc., etc. In the end, to go to the cell phones. But the credibility, it's better when you have the system like that. And we started to build clients based on the small guys, like I said, like electricians. So the calls still goes to the cell phones, but for the customer for calling, it's presented like a bigger company than they are. When you hear the auto attendant, we can leave the voicemail, we can initiate the conference, etc., etc. So, and after that, we realized that the biggest issue in this kind of business is support. Customers, they don't want to know. They don't want even simple things like, let's say, to change the auto attendant message, or I don't know, to delete a voicemail, or to check a voicemail, or to go to the web interface and to the CDRs. They don't want to do it. They always call. And the smaller company generating more calls. And we decided to reorient our business and to make the business oriented to bigger company with bigger value. The homeowners, or let's say customers only one phone, they generated a lot of traffic on the support. And we decided to get rid away slowly from them and to try to acquire the big customers. We started with the schools. And after that, we found that a good type of customer is a dealership. And in the end, recently, 5 years ago, most of the companies where we are oriented now and trying to achieve, and this is healthcare facilities. It's nursing homes, long-term care, seniors' homes, things like this. They don't generate a lot of traffic. The payments are good, and we integrating the phone system with the nurse call system. Which is a great solution because in Canada, all of the nurse call system probably are 30, 40 years old. They don't have a capability, it's analog ones, or they have dialers or simple switches, just turning the light on top of the door, the dome light. and they don't have a capability to have the reporting tools, evidence, recording, and we integrating with the phone system. Now we're using more because having multiple locations and to manage these locations from multiple PBXs, and each PBX is also multiple virtual PBXs. You have, let's say, 400 instances of the PBXs without to have a switch. It's really hard. And you know that we bought now the more and works perfect. We have no issues. Before that, we tried open sources like Camaleo, Fusion, we tried Yacht. We even built it our own called Unify Switch. But in the end, more won, and more is so efficient, especially with the rerouting, least cost routing. We don't use billing. We're using only like a natural soft switch, but it's amazing. For now, it's good. So this is typically how we came to the voice over IP business and what we're using.
How did you manage to make your first sale to a school?
Like I said, we don't do direct sales. We started to look to the dealers who are in the security business, who are in the monitoring business, you know, like fire alarms, surveillance, etc., because they do the cabling, and we started to offer to them like additional layer communications. Anyways, they going to the building. Anyways, they going to the school or somewhere, and they run the cable. They used to do old PBXs like Avaya, Mitel, blah, 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 Panasonic. But for example, to install even now the Panasonic KX7500, yeah, it will cost you in the end, with all of the boards, all of the licenses, maintenance contract, anyways, will cost you, let's say, from 6 to 20,000 Canadian dollars. Plus, it's not compatible with any other phones, working only with the, so you're vendor dependable. Sooner or later, phones will disappear from the market. The manufacturers, they stop to produce because the market, it's not anymore growing up. And for the dealers, they have a choice, or to find a solution how to keep the existing old phone system like Mitel or Avaya, to find somewhere refurbished phones, to go to fix them, to renovate, but they're losing the face. And we offered them, they said, guys, just take from us this service. Initially, they like to sell the on-site equipment, and they ask us to build the PBX. But after that, slowly, we were able to convince them that it's not required to have a physical machine, to have a PBX on site. So you don't need to have on-premise the equipment. Plus provisioning, yeah, when you're giving them a phone, never touched, and they plugging, and it's automatically registering, everything works, when the background with their logo, etc., they started to be happy. And we decided that we don't do any more direct sales, only through dealers. Let them to make sales, let them to run the cables, let them to do it everything, and they bringing us the customers. And this was the idea.
Yeah, so, but you made actually their life easier, because configuring like on-site PBX, it's much harder work than just plugging in a phone and it works. But were you the first like VoIP provider or virtual PBX provider who approached them or not? Like, was there a competition, more small guys like you who are trying to reach these dealers?
Yes, yes. Even now the competition, it's huge. The Canadian market is very specific. It's price sensitive, and you'll find a lot of small guys who trying to compete based only on price, but they ignoring the quality, they ignoring the reliability, and the biggest issue, they're not capable to provide good support. And it's typical for North America. For every small issue, they call you. And these guys who do the competition based on price, they're not capable to provide good support. And here we have a big advantage. So reliability. Our prices are not the cheapest ones for sure, but amount of services, good quality, reliability, and extremely good support, it's our advantage.
And do you need to keep actively search for new dealers, or you are okay with the current network of your dealers? And
We are not, we're just three guys. So we decided to not grow and to make our company too big. Responsibility is too high.
Yeah.
The revenue is good. To be much more busy and to hire other people means even more responsibility. And we decided that let's keep the things as they are. The dealers still do the business, the dealers still do the installation, and we are okay with the environment what we already have. We don't think to if somebody will be interested to join, or for example to buy out us, maybe. But for now, we are okay with the things like they are.
Do you have like a vision of the buyout, like exiting the business, or you didn't think about this yet?
I didn't think about this yet. I know the time sooner or later will come. We used to have two offers, but we're ignoring for now. We are okay.
On your website, you wrote on About Us section that Vantact is a joint company formed in 2016 by two established IT enterprises, Claricom Solutions and Entervox Telecom. So as when you bought more the first time, it was Claricom. So how did you find your partners and how did you merge?
Yeah, when I started, like I said, do you remember I told you that I was working on a HVAC company. After that, slowly I started. I went into the training from Boston company in Boston. Now it's VoIP, was PBX and SIP. I met my future partner, Italian, and he used to manage this Claricom company, but he was not capable to manage because it's too many things. Voice over IP in general is very specific business. You have to understand very well. And he offered me a partnership, and I started to manage the Claricom, and parallel I used to do the things for his business as well. But one time came that we are ready to separate, and we started. It was 2016, I guess. We started the Vantact, and Vantact was a startup. It was me, my son, and another guy, Chris Popescu. Three of us. We decided to start the Vantact, and we took the Claricom, joined with the Vantact, and started own business.
But did you start from your own money, or did you need some funding to get started?
We already, at this time, we already had a small income, so we didn't need to invest.
Okay.
We took over existing servers. Slowly, we replaced old equipment with the Blade servers, because we used to have very, very old Dell R200, and I decided to use Blade server. The Blade server, it's a 2U unit with 12 blades. Each blade, it's a separate PC. And we started initially with the own colo from Montreal, but to manage the colo, it's totally different business, absolutely different business. And I decided to stop this, and we switched to the front one. Front one, it's 151 Front Street.
What's the most challenging in your business currently?
Support.
Give an example.
For each small issue, they call you. I mean me, our business, it's always fault of the issue. Doesn't matter if this is a router, or I'll give a small example. We have a small company, lawyers, her name is Rose. She asked 2 phones. Just small example, okay? We shipped 2 phones, the Yelling ones, brand new, yeah? And after that, we received the call that her air conditioning stopped working. As soon as the phones came to their office, it's a coincidence, I understand, but it's our fault.
And how did you solve it?
We didn't solve excuses, blah, blah, blah. We sent the guy who changed the thermostat for them. The cost was $150, and she paid for the new thermostat. But in the end, and any issue, for example, I don't know, let's say they plugging phone into the different switch and different network where is no internet. It's not our problem, but in the end, it's our fault. Doesn't matter what kind of issue. We should. This is the biggest challenge. Always. It's a lot of examples like that. Plus, we're serving, like I said, the healthcare facilities, nursing home, blah blah blah, and the tenants are always old people, always old. And sometimes they calling without any reason just because they want to talk, but they complaining. Or they inventing the issue, This is the biggest challenge. And this
Yeah, so you work like a psychologist for them to listen for them.
Unfortunately, yeah.
In the beginning, you mentioned that when you served home users, they didn't generate a lot of volume.
No, they don't generate. No.
But also complained. Now, at least they generate enough volume and income.
Yes, and don't forget, so taking the home user, you have to fight with the cheap guys who offering sometimes almost for free. Sometimes their cost, it's less than our expenses. I don't understand how this works. So no reason to go in this direction, because you will not have revenue, only headache. That's why these guys sooner or later disappear from the market, and new one coming.
And do you feel the competition in your current market?
Yes, we have some. It's not, exist. First of all, because different solutions. The biggest competition now is the big guys like bandwidth.com, like even also the Canadian market is very specific. All of the providers, they provide practically the same price, and they trying to get rid away from the guys like us, and they inventing different things. So it's some kind of monopoly. Imagine, for example, in Ottawa CRTC, it's government, yeah? They have in CRTC, I don't remember exactly, let's say 70 guys, 70. All of them are after 65, 60, and all of them are former employees of Bell and Rogers. What do you think? What they are gonna do? They are not interested in the competition. They will do the lobbying of the big guys like Rogers and Bell. This is 2 biggest companies. And they practically bought out all of the competitors. We used to have in past, let's say it was Fido company from Montreal, was bought out by Rogers. The new company Wind Mobile came, also bought. So there is no practically competition. Same thing with us. They always trying. I'll give you example. For example, we're going to the new installation and providing the quotation. Yeah, and we're saying what we're gonna offer. In a few days after that, Bell is calling because they want to port out the numbers and offering better and cheaper service than we do. So they know it's hard, some kind of hard, but more services you're providing and you're making more dependable on you, it's better they still go with you. Especially, for example, let's say Rogers will not be capable to provide the bell rings on the phone, or will not be capable to provide the integration with the nurse call system, with pull cords, buttons, pendants. They cannot do it. If you want integration with the fire alarm, maybe they will go with the TELUS, maybe. But because you provide integrations, you're getting the customer.
Often big guys buy the small ones, just remove the competition. So did you know
Yes.
what level, at what level they buy them? Like, do they have to reach a certain amount of, like, certain level of?
As soon as their price or service or some other aspects starting to affect the big guy, they're trying to find a solution to buy them out, to remove from competition. Because price changes or policy changes, it may affect them because the customer may switch, and you know the referrals. They say, oh, we changed because it's better, or we changed because it's cheaper, or because it's combination cheaper and better. And it's breaking the market from big guy point of view.
So how does the Canadian VoIP market look like? What are the top guys, and what part of the market share do they have?
Top guys are still biggest players like Rogers, like Bell, like Primus, Fibernetics. They even do sometimes the promotions and giving lines for free for 1 year or something.
And they take the majority of the market. Do you know what part of the market share these big guys have, like 80% or 90%?
I think, yeah, almost 80%.
Mm-hmm.
It's a monopoly.
Yeah.
The market is monopolized.
So how can small guys survive in this monopolistic market?
They still survive, first of all, based on price, or based like we do with integrations and finding different market where it's really, really hard to go with the solutions like big guys offers. They offer the standard solution extension. Well, let's say Bell, it's a little bit different. They offering single number each. Yeah, you single number each. They're saying you have a copper line. Okay, no more copper line. We're giving you the virtual number. You will have an auto attendant and forward it from the auto attendant to the cell phones. Some guys like electricians, like installers, they will agree because anyways they need it. Yeah, this is bad, but fields like I said, integration with the nurse call system, yeah, fire alarm, surveillance, blah, all of this, they don't do. They can do separately. For example, monitoring or security panels, you know, they can do it, but to integrate in the facilities like we do with the healthcare, you need a separate division, or you need a development, or you need very, very specific things. Plus support. Again, support. If you call to us, we're answering immediately. There is no waiting time. Let's say like you're calling to Rogers, you may stay on the line 40, 50, 1 hour. And Rogers, you can stay 2 hours. And after that, you're going through the heuristic and complicated menu. Click this, one for this, for this, for this, for this. People hate. In our situation, when they call us, we're answering immediately.
So what is your advice for those who might be considering offering VoIP services in the Canadian market?
First of all, to do a research and maybe to find missing spots in this business. For example, like we found with the healthcare, schools, dealerships, to find something where it's really hard to go with the standard service, to build a very reliable backend, to have a good switch like more to find, I don't know, voice over IP ready for the front-end customers, and to have a very simple billing portal, extremely simple.
What volume of calls do you currently have in your business?
About 5 million a month.
And do you consider it is like a good traffic, or it is too small or enough for you?
No, it's a good traffic. It's bigger than we expected. We used to have 1 million and now 5. And this is because of most of the minutes are from the call centers, dealerships and towing companies.
How do you see this business going forward? Is it declining?
The voice over IP business already achieved the technology limit. I don't expect to come something dramatically new or revolutionary new. That's it. The technological level, the maximum possible, in my opinion, it's already here. So, of course, sooner or later, this business probably will go away. The good example is Microsoft Teams. A lot of people porting out the numbers in favor of Microsoft Teams, and such kind of services probably will affect us. I don't think that the voice over IP is set to die soon, but I'm not expecting any more the big jumps.
Yeah, but I guess this slowing down will take some time.
Oh, yeah. It's not instant for sure.
Yeah. Okay, and Vadim, where can people find more about you and about your company? And maybe what's the best way to reach out to you if they are interested to work with you or have some questions?
Website, it's vantact.com, and the healthcare division where we're integrating the phone system with the different, it's a controlledcare.com.
Final question for those who consider using Palmsoft in their business. Do you have any suggestions or some words to say to them?
Surprisingly, we didn't expect that more. It's much better than we expected. It's reliable, no questions, fast. We like very much the least cost routing. We're not using billing, but my understanding billing it's possible because we're using the third party, we're using Blesta for the billing, and it's hard now to switch. So blah blah blah. Maybe some parts on the web interface I would like to be a little bit more friendly, especially, for example, the DID management, because we're using a lot. But in the rest, we are very much satisfied, so no questions.
So thanks, Vadim, a lot for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a positive day, and I wish you to have less support requests with challenges that you cannot meet, like air conditioning.
Yeah, okay. Be in touch. Bye-bye.